going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, 3 seasons deep, and Treyarch is finally waking the fluke up. It is absolutely outstanding to see. Again, I know it's probably a bit too late for a lot of people who wanted to dabble in this game earlier on, but for those who have been sticking around for the first time in a long time, there has just been major meta shifts. Now, of course, I already made my first meta video discussing things like the Kilo, the Growl, the AMAX, so on and so forth, and kind of how the Jackal got dumbed down a bit. But I want to hyper-focus in today's video on these single-fire weapons because, believe it or not, I still don't see these being used whatsoever in the pub match experience, and Treyarch did indeed dabble within these single-fire weapons with these recent patch notes that we got with Season 3. So, of course, I'm going to be showcasing to you guys all these insane weapons. Hopefully, I can share some things with you all that will encourage you guys to branch out of your comfort zone, and maybe we can see some awesome changes within the meta even further as time goes on within Black Ops 6 Season 3. But, of course, ladies and gentlemen, before we go and dive deep, if you guys are interested in more content like this, don't forget subscribing at that bell. I post daily here at 8 Eastern time. And of course, if you guys are interested in my live streams, I stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch, starting between 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern time. Of course, if you guys are interested, I'll link that channel down in the description of this video. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, as I said before, these single fire weapons in Black Ops 6 caught some major buffs. First and foremost, I gotta showcase the DM10 to each and every one of you guys. The DM10 was already a beast in the first place, but once again, very underrated. Nobody wanted to rock it, nobody wanted to use it. But after this recent update, not only did they increase the fire rate of this weapon, but they also increased, well, I guess I should say, decreased the flinch that you receive while getting shot at. So, guys, I'm telling you this right now, this is almost like an assault rifle in my personal opinion. You can, of course, deck out the DM10 to be like a marksman and use it at long range. But in my personal take, I highly suggest you guys do not do that. I'm going to flash up my class here for you all. And again, like I say in all my videos, please, dabble in your own classes, make your own setups. But this is a fantastic base version of the DM10 for you guys to all go ahead and rock. And it shreds. Not only is the fire rate tremendously fast now, and you can partially spray this thing, but the recoil is absurdly manageable. I mean, you can take down opponents, medium range, long range, and shoot, even with the fire rate buff, you can take on people up close and personal. I've done it dozens of times, and not just, against people who are, I don't want to call noobs, but, not in my bracket. I'm talking about sweat lords, people who are slide canceling, B-hopping, using great weapons, who match, everybody else's skill level. Even against those players, the DM10 just melts them. It's magical. And like I said before, I don't know why more people aren't going ahead and rocking this weapon. Moving on next is the FAL. I am very happy with this weapon now, guys. And again, I'm kind of sad that they chose to put this in the marksman rifle category over the assault rifle category because it just plays like a freaking assault rifle. Pretty much all the single fire weapons in this game caught a fire rate buff. And you can spray. When I say spray, I mean you can spray the FAL. I have actually caught myself many times spraying it way too hard at long ranges because I'm just getting so used to it now. And when I should be tap firing and trying to land more shots at long range, I'm just sitting there going pop, 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 pop. It's awesome. It's amazing. It feels like an FAL, what everybody has been asking for. I'm not going to lie, the FAL was still fun beforehand, but it did feel a bit underwhelming, and it just didn't feel fast enough. The biggest problem wasn't really the damage, although it was kind of a weak marksman rifle, but mostly I think everybody could agree it was the fire rate. And with this fire rate buff, it is, like I said, I mean, words don't do any justice to the FAL right now. You guys just have to go ahead and try this out with your own, hands. Give it your own go. And of course, go down in the comment section and let me know what you guys think about this bad boy because it is definitely worth your time. Thirdly, the Goblin got retouched, and I have to be real with you guys, I'm not too pleased with the Goblin still. What they did is they decreased the damage range, so it's a bit weaker, but they upped the fire rate significantly. And let me tell you guys something, you can shoot this gun extremely fast now. If you have a trigger finger, you will absolutely go to town. But the problem that I see here is, again, they're trying to make an assault rifle that's semi-auto compete up close and personal, because that's the goal of the Goblin. They're trying to make a semi-auto assault rifle that can compete up close and personal. Hence why they reduced the damage range, because they don't want you sniping with it or using it like, a marksman or something like that. But they increased the fire rate because they want you spamming it. They want you, competing with SMGs and other, weapons like that up close. But this is the issue. It doesn't. It just simply doesn't. I don't think there's going to ever be a semi-auto assault rifle that can actually compete up close and personal intentionally, with the developers making it for that specific purpose. It just doesn't work, in my personal opinion. The only way the Goblin would be better is if you up the damage, because this is where the problem lies. Yeah, you can have an extremely fast fire rate, but 9 times out of 10 of the people that you see using it are not going to be able to get it to that fire rate. It's very stressful to be able to fire the Goblin that quickly, and when you even are firing it that quickly, probably all of your focus is going into how fast you're tapping the trigger or tapping your mouse over actually tracking the opponent and tracking the enemy, which is where the majority of your priority should be. Trying to see what the enemy is doing, where they're going, how they're strafing, if they're jumping, what weapon they, all that stuff instead of how fast you can fire the weapon. But that's what they want you to do. They want you to be able to spam it. But when you begin to spam it, your accuracy drops, and then it defeats the whole purpose. Again, in my opinion, the Goblin, I don't think this gun could ever be fixed. The only way it could be fixed is if they completely rebrand it, make it as an assault rifle that is meant for range or even medium to long range, give it a decent fire rate, some good damage, and it could be right there. But in all reality, why would they do that when the FAL is practically that? That's literally what the FAL is right now in this very moment after the recent buff. So I think they're just trying to hyper-prioritize the Goblin being up close and personal, but like I said, I just don't think it's going to shine. I think it's going to be one of those niche weapons that will be funny to put on every now and then. But in any competitive environment, I just can't get it to work for me personally. But again, if you guys can, please show me your class setups. I'll show you guys mine right here, right now. I just don't know. And it's no need to put rapid fire on it because it shoots so fast to begin with. It's just, I can't get it to completely function. But it is what it is. Like I said, I think this gun is just going to be chalked, and they're probably not going to find a way to make it relevant whatsoever throughout the whole lifespan of this game, just because of the purpose that they're trying to build around this gun. And ladies and gentlemen, lastly, we have the Zarov. Now, this is an interesting one because all they did is increase the rate of fire, but honestly, that was a pretty smooth move. But I will say the Zarov still isn't the most reliable weapon out there. It's not going to be like the gun that I'm like, oh yeah, you know what? A bunch of sweat lords are, coming on through skill-based matchmaking. It's about to throw me 10 matches that are going to be hell. Let's pull out the Zarov. That's more of like like I said, the DM10, the FAL, stuff like that. But for the Zarov, I think it's just basically a sniper at this point on kind of easy mode, where you can actually put on a red dot and you can streak up with it. I've done it many of times. I've hit some really cool clips with the Zarov, and I've turned up with this thing. But it's not the most consistent thing out there. But I'm telling you right now, that one-shot headshot is the most satisfying thing in the world, and that's why I think this gun is still really fun. That headshot just feels great. And after this fire rate buff, it just feels more useful. It feels like you can kind of run and gun a bit more with it. But I'm going to tell you right now, you probably don't want to run and gun with it a bit more. Even with the fire rate buff, it still shoots a little too slow to be engaging with people up close and personal. And again, you're mostly relying off of hitting that headshot. So although it's a fun weapon, I want to say it's a competitive weapon, but it's still fun. I would honestly take the Zarov over the Goblin at this point. I'm being honest. That's how much I don't enjoy the Goblin. So after this buff, the Zarov is actually pretty fun. And honestly, I would suggest checking this out if you're just in the mood to kind of, I guess, snipe. If you enjoy quick scoping or just sniping in general, the Zarov is fun. Just, put on and see if you can land a bunch of headshots and, get that satisfying feeling of just popping a bunch of domes. You can even collat headshot people. I did that before, where one shot can go through 2-3 heads at the same time. It's awesome. But again, a very niche weapon. But ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to put this video out here for you guys to showcase that there is indeed variety when it comes to this game. And I'm happy because I'm seeing people branch out. For the first time ever in Black Ops 6, people are not only using the aims and the jackal. I'm seeing so much variety. Although a lot of it is shifting to the kilo and the growl, which isn't bad. Like I said, it's different, but people are probably going to start picking their favorites very soon, and a new meta will be formed. But I wanted to put this video out there to showcase to you guys that it's not just the fully autos that caught a lot of love with Season 3. The semis got a crap ton of love, and they have become very, very relevant. I'm not lying to you guys. I'm playing with top tier stacks, amazing players, versing really good players a lot of the time. You can check out my streams whenever you feel like it. And I'm able to top frag and top the leaderboard consistently with the DM10 and the FAL almost all the time. They feel phenomenal. Going up against a fully automatic like an Ames or even the Kilo or the Growl nowadays, although I think the Growl will pretty much outgun almost anything, I still feel like I actually stand a chance while using these other semi-auto marksman rifles. Now, I know people are going to say, well, they're marksman rifles, so they shouldn't be feeling like assault rifles right now. You shouldn't be able to run and gun. But the problem is that we don't have any assault rifles that are semi-auto that are decent. Literally, the Goblin is the only thing. And like I said, this gun is made for close-range engagements. It's not made for medium to long-range engagements. So you can't really get that good semi-automatic feel. But now that they changed the DM10 and the FAL around, I know people are going to say, oh, but I should be using them differently with a long scope. And you could do that. By all means, you could still deck it out. But all I'm saying, and all, the purpose of this whole video is that you could deck these marksmans out and turn them into the assault rifles that you guys are wishing for. And they are fun. Very fun. I don't even know if I should be sharing the DM10 sauce, because I feel like if the majority of people actually rock the DM10, lobbies are going to get so toxic to the point that they might actually nerf it back down again. But I just want to see people use different things. This is casual gameplay, ladies and gentlemen. I play plenty of ranked, I play plenty of the same map 24/7 and plenty of only using jackals and aims. When I go into casual, I want to use everything. I want to see everything. I want the variety to be there. Regardless if it's me doing the whooping or the enemies doing the whooping on me, it's just refreshing to see people using different items in the game. And I'm hoping that people will branch out and see that after this recent update, Treyarch did indeed cook. They're finally waking up and they're finally putting forth true effort into balancing out Black Ops 6. Now all we need them to do is fix the servers whenever that's going to be. I'm assuming that's going to be postponed for BO7. I don't know if this is ever going to be completely polished off. It seems every other season, everybody I talk to is running into new issues, new problems. So I don't know. Like I always say, I feel like this is the template game. BO7 is going to be the actual game that they might put forth a little bit more effort, and it's going to be more polished because they spent all year, I guess, trying to understand with BO6. Who knows what the case is here. But when it comes down to the balance of Black Ops 6 and weapons, casual play has actually been very entertaining, much more than before where you only saw a couple of weapons. You're seeing a lot more things, and that alone is fun. But, of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed his video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. I post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern Time. And, of course, if you guys are interested in any of my live streams, I stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch, starting between 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, if you guys are interested, got to link that channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.